The dream trip to London, soccer and the Brazilian national team. Fabrizio and his father were glued to the television screen. The roar of the crowd filled the room as the Brazilian national team took the field. Both men were wearing the iconic yellow jersey of the Brazilian team, a symbol of their deep-rooted passion for the beautiful game. "That pass from Neymar was incredible, Dad," Fabrizio exclaimed, his eyes wide with excitement. His father nodded in agreement, taking a sip of his beer. "He reminds me a lot of Pelé in his prime," he said, a nostalgic smile playing on his lips. "Remember when Pelé scored that goal against Sweden in the 1958 World Cup?" Fabrizio nodded enthusiastically. He had heard countless stories from his father about Pelé and the golden era of Brazilian football. "I'd love to see Brazil play live one day," Fabrizio mused. "Who knows, son," his father replied. "Maybe someday we'll make it to a game in person." Little did Fabrizio know that his dream would come true sooner than he expected. A few months later, his father surprised Fabrizio with tickets to a friendly match between Brazil and England at Wembley Stadium in London. "I've been saving up for this for years," his father said, grinning. "I know how much you love football." Fabrizio was ecstatic. Not only would he get to see Brazil play live, but he would also be visiting London, a city he had always wanted to explore. As they walked through the streets of London, Fabrizio and his father marveled at the iconic landmarks. They visited Buckingham Palace, took a boat ride on the River Thames, and explored the Tower of London. But it was Wembley Stadium that they were most excited about. "Dad, can you believe we're actually here?" Fabrizio asked, his voice filled with awe. "It's like a dream come true," his father replied. The match was everything Fabrizio had hoped for and more. The atmosphere inside Wembley was electric. As the Brazilian players took to the field, the crowd erupted in cheers. And when Brazil scored their first goal, Fabrizio jumped out of his seat and shouted with joy. After the match, Fabrizio and his father wandered around the stadium, soaking up the atmosphere. They met fans from all over the world, sharing stories and exchanging jerseys. "This has been the best trip of my life," Fabrizio said to his father. "I'm glad you enjoyed it, son," his father replied. "But remember, this is just the beginning. There are many more adventures to come." As they flew back home, Fabrizio and his father couldn't stop talking about their trip. They had created memories that would last a lifetime. And while they were both looking forward to their next adventure, they knew that nothing would ever quite compare to the thrill of watching Brazil play live at Wembley Stadium.